What's up, guys? Me again with another tutorial. Today we're going to be covering the dominant chord first inversion, right? As I'm going through these tutorials, I'm learning myself because I'm literally showing you chord types for free, all of them, every single one of them. But let's jump straight into the tutorial, because I will also try to upload my slow practice of the Mozart piece that I'm studying, which is KV 310 or 310 next week, but just really delaying. I'm just waiting for some, tweaks and corrections by my teacher, and then I'm going to finally upload, because I feel like I haven't uploaded a classical practice session in a minute. But yeah, back to this video topic. So dominant chord is simply, you have your, let's play it in C, for example. You have your major triad, so your root note, major third, and then your fifth, right, degree. And then all you're doing is adding the flat 7 or the minor 7. So the 7 of C is B. We're going to go down half step, okay? And this is your dominant chord in root position. Now, if you want to play the first inversion, all we're doing is simply taking the root note or the bottom note to the top, okay? And now, having said that, how do we recognize it easily? So first of all, if we analyze the chord shape, if we take away the B flats and just leave the E, G, and 1, so the 3, 5, and 1, you recognize the shape. You should already know the shape. This is the first inversion already of your C major, right? Root position to the top, first inversion. So already visually, you should already be able to recognize it, because you already know the first inversion is like a fusion between a minor third chord, right, and a perfect fourth, right, the G to the C. So when you see this already, you should already go, this is actually very familiar. The only difference is you're just adding a note, okay? And the notes you're adding is simply a whole step below, right, from the top note, which is C. So a whole step below will be the B flat. That's it, very simple. So if you think about it that way, it's going to be so easy to recognize them in all keys. So for example, if I already know, let's say, my first inversion of, I don't know, C sharp, let's do it in C sharp. This is my first inversion, right? So I have the 3, the 5, and the 1, okay? All I have to think about is, what is the whole step below from the top note, which is the key in question. That is B, okay? So you have the 3, 5, flat 7, okay, because the 7 is C, flat 7, and then the top note. And also remember, in the first inversion, every time there's a first inversion, the key, the note of the key in question is at the very top, all right? It's at the edge of the chord. So in C, dominant first inversion, my key is clearly this, C. And let's say if I was to play it, I don't know, in F, okay, first inversion F, my top note is the key that we're talking about, which is F, okay? And how do I identify the first inversion dominant at this point? I just count a whole step, right, down from the top note, which is E flat. And this is it. That's your first inversion dominant chord. Now, before I go into playing all the dominant chords as I usually always do, one thing is to note is the inversions, really and truly, all they're doing is helping you with position, switching from chord to chord without doing massive jumps. Obviously, the sound is going to change, because this sounds different from this and sounds different from this, okay? That's up to taste and rules and other stuff, but as long as you know that, it just makes the movement easier. So for example, C is the 5 of F. So if I was playing it in the first inversion dominant chord, 5, and I wanted to do a 5-1 progression, I could simply go from the first inversion to my root, rather than doing this and going back to the root. which makes no sense. First of all, it sounds a bit dry, weak, and second of all, it's just not convenient for movement. Okay, so I hope all of this was clear. Now, per usual, I'm gonna put the metronome on and play it in all keys, left and right, fingering usual stuff. So thumb on the 3, index on the 5, pinky on the top, and you can use 3 or 4 on the flat 7, okay? And then on the left, we're gonna have a similar scenario. So pinky on the 3, 3 or 4, depending on how comfortable you feel, on the 5. And then on the flat 7, so on the B flat, I could put an index, and then at the top note, I can put the thumb. Okay, I do kind of prefer the 3 on the 5. Actually, let me play here rather than this. I don't know. Every time I use the 4th finger or the ring finger, it feels awkward, and I need to get out of the habit of feeling comfortable with the 3. So if I were you, I'll practice in 3 and 4, or switch it up while you go up in the chords. Okay, cool. So.